the only thing that makes you or me or any marketer on this call relevant is the experience we're providing with either the employee, the customer, or the prospect. And if it's terrible, you're going to lose in the end.
Riley wants to know, what are the best campaigns that we've created that we're proud of? You go first.
I have two. We give a golden llama out to the employees. Lessonly does, to employees that live all the values of Lessonly. And Ben Battaglia, who's director of marketing at the time, suggested that we send golden llamas to customers and prospects too. And the whole point was, take this golden llama, give it to an employee that you think lives the values of your company. And I've spray painted probably 3,000 little golden llamas, little llamas that would then turn gold. But what happened was it created more of a story around our product instead of us sending them a freaking shirt that said, "Lessonly, you need training," and like a little we don't need any more shirts unless they're really comfy, right? I don't need any more shirts. I'm like pretty much everything I wear now has some brand name on it. The other one was Max, our CEO, wrote a book called Do Better Work, which was all of our values in a book that you could read in an hour and a half. We have mailed out tens of thousands of those books to people. And number one, it helped us set the stage for the relational component of Lessonly, how you're coaching and training people and the empathetic side of that. And it also helped us spread our culture and our values with new employees as we were hiring 80 people a quarter to people that had been here for a while. So those are my two favorite. Dave, yours.
I got 7. Ready, everybody? No, it's great. So you mentioned the book. I think a book
Yeah.
can be a great play. You just can't write any other book. And there's a whole separate rant on books. And there's a question from Jamie that we'll get to. We'll talk more about books in a minute. But the conversational marketing book was very important for Drift. But then also we created another book called This Won't Scale, which we self-published, which was we talked about how we did marketing at Drift. And granted, we're selling to marketers, and so that was interesting. But we wrote it in-house. We interviewed multiple people on the team. It was like the whole team published this book. That book was free. More people were telling us about that book. It was like a viral marketing hit. And I just think I love stuff like that. I mean, you were like one of the OGs of doing this with, like, when you were at OpenView, you would like interview, I remember like I did an interview with you guys, but then you'd send like this like amazing pro level magazine. Like people love that type of stuff. I'll give you a kind of a different one, a random one. I think ultimately the campaign that I'm most proud of is creating the event at Drift Hypergrowth in the first year. No clue how to do any of that with almost no budget. And we got 1,000 people there. That was like, I learned more in that year than probably 5 years combined. One of my most favorite campaigns, I'm going to give you 2 more. Number one is getting a text getting a text from the CEO who's going to be at the Super Bowl with a last minute ad spot outside, like a physical real estate outside of the Super Bowl, and like in 3 hours having to come up with ad copy and working directly with the agency to like get that done. That was a good one. Yeah, it was digital. It was digital, and so we just needed to write it. We just needed to write a headline, but like it was like your team could be closing deals, but there was a catch, because I guess in any Super Bowl advertising you can't use the term Super Bowl. Like they own that in some weird way, and so we had to say like close deals, generate leads and book meetings even while your team is watching the big game, and it said like Drift, and we came up with that like on a Saturday morning. It was awesome. Another one is, one time I reached out to one of our customers, she tweeted like, Drift booked me a meeting while I was sleeping. And I DM'd her on Twitter and I said, can I put that tweet on a billboard? And she said yes. And it was maybe like $4,000 to get the billboard. It was so worth it. And 2 weeks later, the billboard is up in the same neighborhood where this company's office is. And this same girl goes out there and she takes a picture of herself in front of the Drift billboard. And that was just like, I love that type of marketing stuff.
Absolutely, like, man. That's traditional. But I think marketers, a lot of marketers miss this, and it's very much a part of a brand identity is experience, right? you can never, the only thing that makes you or me or any marketer on this call relevant is the experience we're providing with either the employee, the customer, or the prospect. And if it's terrible, you're going to lose in the end. And traditional marketing, in my opinion, is a great way to build experience. If you do direct mail the right way, if you do billboards the right way, if you do, traditional advertising in airports, like a lot of times I think this idea that you have to be completely digital is crazy, because there's so many different unique ways to tell a story with
Right.
traditional that you can't do with like whatever the hell we're doing on digital now.